Thank you to Card Titan for hosting 2 premier events for Value Vintage this year at Eternal Weekend. I'd also like to thank them for allowing me to record the top table to bring to you all. We appreciate the support. All right, we have our final round of the Swiss, round 6 of the Saturday Eternal Weekend Value Vintage event, playing for a Mox Diamond for first place. We have a couple players who, I think we have 2 or 3 matches where players drew into top 8, but this is a match that is, one of these players is going to be able to hopefully squeeze in with a win based off the math. So we have Mueller on the top. He's playing a mono red deck. And then we have Sam on the bottom playing a blue-red Delver deck. So, deck's very unique. Very unique takes on different things you could try in the format. It looks like Delver is going to win the die roll here. For the Delver deck, it's pretty consistent with what you would assume based off of a lower power level Eternal format. We have Delver, Dragon's Rage, Channeler. We get things like True Name Nemesis and Sailor's Bane. And then your normal counterspell and interaction suite of like Lightning Bolts, Chain Lightnings, counterspells, the one of Treasure Cruise. And out of the mono red list, a unique take on the deck. We have some Impulse Effects, Amped Raptor, some Goblin Guides, and 4 Broadside Bombardiers. So this card is a huge addition to this archetype here for the format. And of course, you get the Gigantha as long as you can support it. So resolving mulligans now. We're going to see if anybody needs to go down past the 7. It looks like we're going to start. Whoever's going to start with Island and Riordan. I'm trying to think of the Final Fantasy name of that card. I think it's Prophecy's Beginning. Let me know below if it is not. Mueller's going to lead with a mountain and pass, so not as an aggressive start. Looks like there's 15 1-drops in the deck. So, going to play a Darcy into a Bauble, but it's going to get Galvanic discharged by the red player. And then Delver's going to pass the turn. Only Spell Pierce for instant speed blue for 1 mana. So another land and pass. So this is a bit of a slow hand, I would say, looking at Mueller's list. We have a second Bauble. Looks like there was a Soul Ring on top. I believe I saw Malcolm in the Delver's hand. We have Opera Love Song. So for anyone not familiar, 2 mana, instant speed, choose 1. 1 or 2 target creatures each get +2/+0 until end of turn, or exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards until the end of your next turn. So Mueller's going to start his turn by going Soul Ring. I would imagine this is a Soul Ring, tapping for 4. Yeah, cast this, is it Dominator? Assaultron Dominator. So 2 mana, 2/2. When it enters, get 2 energy. Whenever an artifact creature you control attacks, you may pay an energy. If you do, put your choice of a +1/+1 counter, first strike, or trample counter on that creature. And then into a Reckless Impulse. Dover asks, and you're all tapped out now, so always a cautious sign. He's going to flash into Malcolm, so still on 2 lands, hopefully finding a 3rd land. The 3rd Bauble, though. Looks like that is a Galvanic Discharge on the top, so that we'll be able to answer the Malcolm if the Delver player cannot find a counterspell here. So going to Chain Lightning the Dominator. We're going to get a Malcolm trigger. Draw discard. We're going to discard Mercurial, Spelldancer, and then play a Delver. So this is some insurance against the removal in hand. We do know that there's a Galvanic Discharge. Oh, but there's the Bombardier. Oh my gosh, double Bombardiers. Bombardiers. We're going to call them broadside for the rest of the match to make sure that I don't get cooked too hard. But so it's going to attack for 4. Can't block because of the Menace Haste. I doubt that we are going to sack one of these. We could sack the Soul Ring and deal 3 to something. Oh, we're not going to do that, though. I kind of like that play in killing the Malcolm since we're tapping down. It is sacrifice another creature artifact, so that is a valid play. With Delver being on 2 lands, I think that that's a good kill there, but we're past it now. Malcolm's going to draw and discard from dealing combat. The Delver did not flip. Going to discard Counterspell. Going to play a Frost Boil Snar and pass. Another attack with Bombardiers going for 4. Gonna bolt one of them.
I will respond by using the other one's ability to throw it at your face.
Yeah, so I'll just take 2.
Take 5.
Oh, is it 5?
Yeah, because it's mana value plus 2.
Oh, okay. So
A bit of an odd sequencing there. Probably wanted to bolt that before combat. Player's moving pretty quick. It is a unique card, so probably associated closer to like Raid, where it had to attack first, but
into my hand, not onto the battlefield, because I know how magic.
I was like, hold on a minute.
so gonna buy Gigantha.
I'll buy Gigantha, and this is, does it say 4 roll counters? Is that right?
Yeah, 4.
You can go ahead.
Double trigger.
Yep.
Spell pierce.
Before you draw, I will.
Alright, so we're gonna reveal the Spell Pierce. So the Delver will flip, but before that Spell Pierce is drawn, he's gonna attempt to discharge the Malcolm. That will get counterspelled.
Or counterspell, sorry. I see this here. Alright, so I'll flip and then...
Those lands should still be tapped. I'm not sure if that's gonna come up. We'll see if that matters here, but the lands should be tapped due to the counterspell being cast in upkeep.
Trigger on the... Or him on the stack, one of both him.
Okay, pretty heads-up play here. So Broadside's going to get killed with the Gigantha on the stack just to not take the 7 there. That would be lethal. Luckily, those 2 lands being untapped didn't matter. So not attacking with Malcolm here. I'm not sure if I like that. I don't know the rest of the hand, but the Malcolm does get the secondary text on the discard, where if it has 4 or more of the counters on it, it can cast the discarded card for free. So not sure if there's something like a Sailor's Bane or anything in hand, but plus you have the Delver as a blocker. Gigantha's going to attack. We're going to chump with the Delver. We have another Assaultron Dominator.
Go ahead.
So if we can find a bolt or a Chain Lightning would have been lethal here. So Red's going to go to 5. We have 9 to 5. Dolly Parton style for life totals. 9 with Delver and 5 for the mono red player. At this point, we have to just swing in. Going to try to put a counter on it. Looks like 2 cards in hand for red. Going to chump the Gigantha. And I think you're still losing this race, though. Because you're still looking for the bolt. What do we find? We know we have the Spell Pierce. Do we have the bolt? Moving pretty quick. It looks like we might have the bolt. There's the Chain Lightning. But we're asking if he can dump mana in to kill his opponent, but unfortunately the spell resolves and then you can copy it. So he would take 3 die and then he would not have the opportunity to copy the spell. So Dover's going to win that game, up a game against Mono Red. So if you look at the sideboards, Mono Red is going to be on the play. We have 4 Damping Spheres, a Disruptor Flute, 4 Harsh Mentors, the Gigantha, and 3 Tormod Script. I don't know if I like any of these. I'm not a fan of the Damping Sphere. Harsh Mentor doesn't seem like it hits very much in the list. The Tormod's Crypts are fine. They're bad against Bane, decent against Darcy, but I think that's the only real thing. I mean, it can slow down the potential Treasure Cruise, but outside of that, I don't know really if you bring much of anything in here. Comparatively to the Delver player, we have 2 Echoing Truth, 2 Smash to Smithereens, 3 Soul Guide Lantern, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Test of Talents, 2 Unholy Heat, a Vexing Bauble, and a Void Mirror. So, things I'm looking at. Echoing Truth, although creatures have haste, just being able to fog that initial turn seems pretty important. The Spell Pierces seem pretty decent. I don't know, Test of Talents, I don't think you need that additional counterspell. I think you want to have a healthy split between removal and counterspells. Unholy Heat seems like it picks off a lot of the creatures pretty easily, and then the late game it's going to be able to pick up things like Gigantha or a grown Assaultron Dominator. So, I like the Echoing Truths, I like the Spell Piercers, and the Unholy Heats. Spell Dancer seems a little fragile in this matchup. I'd probably cut those. The True Name Nemesis seems like it can block forever. Yeah, I mean, kind of tough on cuts here. I mean, it seems like Delver's pretty favored looking at the deck list for this matchup. You just have to be able to stem that initial bleeding. Hopefully avoid something like Goblin Guide, Amped Raptor, Broadside. That curve's pretty dangerous, but if you have something like Bolt into Counterspell, into like a secondary Counterspell, you can answer all that early damage. Pretty exciting event, though. Once again, a little bit of player banner. Just appreciate how friendly all players have been on camera this weekend. So just still resolving our sideboarding. Once again, just want to thank Card Titan for allowing us to hold this event this weekend and record our matches for everybody here. Starting hand, looking at Mueller over there, looks pretty strong. It looks like we got double Amped Raptor, a Goblin Guide, a Darcy. So, mentioned in that curve I was talking about it, it looks like going Goblin Guide into Amped Raptor into really just another Amped Raptor is already, a lot of pressure, but... Oh, he's mulliganing. I thought there might have been 2 lands in that hand, but maybe not.
Hands that are 3 1-drops, 3 2-drops, and 1 land. And it's like, I really want to keep this.
Okay, so it was he had 3 1-drops, 2 Amped Raptors, and then only 1 land. So there had to be another card in there. Maybe it was another 2-drop. I'm almost tempted to keep that hand though. It's so tempting, especially when it's double Amped Raptor. I mean, red's on 19 lands, 4 Bauble, 1 Soul Ring. It's tough. Looks like a pretty strong hand from Delver. I saw Bolt, Counterspell, Delver, a couple of lands. So I see Aether Hub, Mountain, and Amped Raptor, a Bauble. Alright, let's start it out. I imagine we see the Delver to start here. Oh, that's right. The Mono Red lost, so we're going to see a Goblin Guide starting here. Revealing a Restless Spire. Delver goes to 18. So, draws a Portent. We're going to see a turn 1 Delver, it looks like. Going to play the Aether Hub. We have a Raptor, and let's see. Well, they're going over the card first. So Mueller's really going to want to hit another good threat here. Reckless Impulse is fine. I think would have preferred more pressure on board. Double land. So we're at least fading those to be drawn. So he's going to go to 16. No blocks. Going to reveal an Unholy Heat. So did bring the Unholy Heats in. Able to clean up both of these creatures here. Or let me rephrase. One of these creatures, but either one of them. So it's also going to flip the Delver. Plays a Fiery Island and attacks for 3. Mueller goes down to 17. There's still a Chain Lightning. There's a Counterspell in hand. Looks like we're probably keeping up the Counterspell to reduce the impact of like a broadside here. So we have a Discharge on Delver, and we're going to Counterspell that. Delver should go to 15 because of the Islet. Raptor's going to trigger. Lightning Bolt going to go after the Delver anyway, so we still get to clean that up. Attack for 4. We're going to reveal the top card of the library. Looks like they missed that Fiery Islet trigger, so Delver should be at 11. He's going to be at 12 for current state of the game. Restless Spire. Oh, maybe not. Try Portent instead. Probably looking for an untapped blue. Well, no, it's Slow Ponder, though, so... Oh, he did... Oh, man, that's kind of rough, because now he forgot to play his land. I think he changed his mind on which land he wanted to play, wanted to leave up blue, and ended up forgetting to play the land again. And now there's a broadside that he can't have a counterspell for. So 2, 4, 6, 8, plus the 2 and the 2 from the Amped Raptor. That's going to be 12. Okay, so he does have the Bolt. I thought he had a Chain Lightning, but he has a Bolt, so he gets to clean that up. So reveals a Bolt on top. I don't know that we have enough to clean this up, though. Alright, so he's going to scoop that up. So, pretty aggressive start. I was a little anxious with the Reckless Impulse, missing on additional threats, but Mueller was able to really catch up there. I think fading those 2 lands off the top and just digging the actual threats was pretty important there. I'm just looking over, trying to see if there's anything else that Delver might want to do. On the play, I don't know how many of these Spell Pierces you want. You can go up to 4 Spell Pierces. There's 20 non-creature spells. 4 of them are baubles. I'm not interested in those. Soaring is probably a pretty good hit. But it's really just the 1 mana burn spells, Opera Love Song, and Reckless Impulse. So I don't know how much you want to really have Spell Pierce in the deck. Like, to me, I'm thinking that it's just too low impact in too many games, but we'll see what starting hands we get here. Delver is going to be on the play in this game 3. I see 1 land again. We see Darcy Bauble, Reckless Impulse, Amped Raptor, Kari Zeb, Galvanic Discharge. I think that hand, yeah, I think he's keeping it. You get 2 draws before you need the land. You get a look from Darcy, and you also get an extra card from Bauble, so And at that point, the velocity of that hand with the additional removal spell, the 2 really impactful 2-drops, and Karizev and Amped Raptor, I think it's your best line. Plus, you just have to answer the Darcy. All right, Delver on 6. I see a counterspell. Looks like 2 lands, maybe a Restless Spire and a Fiery Islet. Looks like also a mountain. A Malcolm and a Portent also. And a Delver, so. I think that was the Portent we put on the bottom. Fiery Islet into Delver. Alright, Mueller draws this card. Mountain into Darcy. I'm sure we'll see the bobble here. Surveil. Gonna bin a Karizev, so even better because we know that there's a Karizev in hand, so. Portent on top. Mismatched Portent. Somebody get this guy out of here. Attacking for 3 with the Delver. 17. So it looks like he's going the route, keeping up Counterspell for Counterspell or Malcolm. So draws 2 cards, 1 off the bobble and then 1 for turn. Did we find the land? It's going to be the most crucial piece to this turn. We found the Soul Ring, though. We do get a Darcy trigger. Getting a Lightning Bolt. So we are Sorcery land off, I believe. Yeah, we need Sorcery or land. Those are the available types in the deck. So he's got a Malcolm. So there's a lot of pressure from Delver already. Tough part here also. He's going to swing for 5, take him to 12. He's going to get a Malcolm trigger. This is going to help sculpt that mulligan. Drawing some things like Portent eventually here, and it might feel a little weak. We just want removal and counter spells. You're winning this race on board pretty well. We just want to be able to keep additional threats or removal spells on your evasive creatures out of the way. Going to discard Sailor's Bane, probably a pretty good call. Restless Spire tapped, Fiery Islet. Going to play Delver. Looks like we're going to miss that ping off the Islet. So we have an Amped Raptor, 1 mana floating, 2 energy, another Amped Raptor. So yep, so Raptor's text says that as long as you cast it from hand, so Raptor is going to get the 2 energy, but it's not going to let him spin again. So still 1 mana floating. Alright, so not using the colorless mana that was floating, but going to Galvanic Discharge the Delver. Here I'm almost tempted to still attack. Yeah, I think you still want to attack. If you trade with the Delver, you're already behind, so you want that trade to happen. You have the 2 Amped Raptors in play. Looks like there's a Fiery Islet off the top for the draw for turn. You're not attacking with this Delver because those Amped Raptors have first strike. You could animate the Restless Spire to try to trade with one of the Amped Raptors. I'm not sure if that's good. It seems like that might be a play that he wants to do, though. Still has a counterspell in hand. Alright, so we're going to cast this Portent. So he has a counter spell in hand. Here's what I like. I like putting Bauble on top, then putting the Unholy Heat under it, and then Treasure Cruise below that. So then that way, oh, he's gonna shuffle. My line is putting Bauble on top, then Unholy Heat, then Treasure Cruise. Gets to attack with just the Malcolm. Do draw discard. You draw and discard the Bauble, so you still have Counterspell and Unholy Heat. Then you have the Counterspell for the turn and the Unholy Heat to pick off one of the guys. And then your Delver flips next turn with the Treasure Cruise. I'm not sure how many cards are in the graveyard, but I'd imagine between these discards and casting these spells that we're able to resolve the Treasure Cruise and leave some mana up. So
10, right?
So gonna attack Mueller and take him to 10. Need to draw off the Portent.
Land per turn. Yep. 4 energy.
So play an Aether Hub, go up to 4 energy from the red player. We're still off sorcery and land for the Darcy. Two mana. Reckless Impulse. Let's see what we can dig and find. Land. Lalia.
Delirium is on.
You already revealed this. So you.
What do you mean? Oh, no, I was saying Delirium is on for her. I did miss the trigger.
Okay. So a little bit of miscommunication there. Mueller acknowledged that he missed his trigger. He was just dictating that Delirium was online. And I think Sam was taking it as, oh, I have a trigger here. So just a little bit of miscommunication, but they're fine. Laylee is going to get cast. We're going to counterspell it. So it looks like we're at 15 for Delver, 10 for Mono Red.
I guess I don't have any flying blockers, so it doesn't really matter. Attacking for 7.
Attacking for 7.
I'll block here.
Yep.
So he goes to 10. So 10 all.
Go ahead. You can still play this until my next turn. For everyone.
Draw.
I'll swing 2 here.
I will take 2.
So it goes down to 8 after attacking with the Malcolm. I'm going to draw discard. Going to discard a Spell Pierce. And he found the Treasure Cruise again after shuffling it away. So that's a pretty strong draw here. So going to get to rebuild in some capacity. However, the one thing that's concerning to me is the Delver player does have 2 Fiery Islets already at 10. At least drew 1 land. Looks like Bauble Delver.
Cast the Delver.
I think last card was Bauble, I believe. Yep. Not sure what that card was. So we want to definitely cycle one of these Fiery Islets. My question is,
1 card in hand. Yep.
Dover at 10. Without a bolt, he can't technically kill him. Because he has the Restless Spire, a Flip Dover, and a Malcolm's only 7. He has 7 in play to hit him with now. If he has a bolt. I'm curious on what the cards are in his hand, because if I'm in his position, I want to try to move the combat as quick as possible. Just so that way... Okay, he has the Lalia. Just so that way I can represent maybe I have a bolt or a Chain Lightning in hand that's like lethal. Okay, so he has it. Alright, so Mueller looks like he's going to make it into top 8 with Mono Red Aggro. So super sweet deck. Super interesting matchup between the two.